Namaskar. The topic of discussion today is on oceanography and outline. You are all aware that the Earth is called as a blue planet, and Earth is the live planet wherein most of the time when we see the globe, we see water on the Earth. When we look at the world map, we see two distinct features as continents and oceans. Continents are existing as land frontiers and oceans as large water bodies. We also can see that the oceans cover more surface area than the continents. Oceans are large marine ecosystems. Oceans contain 97% of all the water available on the Earth, but it is mostly saline. Unlike the continents, which are mostly detached from each other, oceans are well connected water masses. It is also a fact that life initially originated in saline waters on the Earth. Oceanic waters are unique in their quality for life to originate. The area of coverage by the oceans are very unique. The world ocean covers about 70% of the Earth's surface. Most of them lie in the southern hemisphere, that is south of the equator. The southern hemisphere consists in area about 80% of the ocean, and the northern hemisphere is covered by the rest of the oceans. Due to this reason, the southern hemisphere is called as water hemisphere and the northern hemisphere is called as land hemisphere. Oceans constitute the most important part of our physical environment. Ocean water is saline, dense and dynamic. It is characterized by various types of horizontal and vertical movements such as tides, waves and currents. Any change in sea level has a great influence on the land masses. Oceans are very rich treasures. Oceans are full of various kinds of vegetation and organic life. Some of them are very small and tiny organisms, and some of them are very large animals. Marine food resources are unlimited resources available on the Earth. Fisheries are inevitable aspects in human survival. Huge volume of marine matter are deposited in ocean bottoms. It is estimated that 40 pounds of gold and 200 pounds of lead are present in dissolved form in every 1 cubic mile of oceanic water. Vast resources of petroleum, coal and natural gas lie buried deep below the oceans. Oceans and seas are unique ecosystems. They are the sources for food, energy and mineral deposits. Swimming, sailing and recreation are also done in these ecosystems. Ships navigate through these oceans to carry cargo between the continents. Oceans are controlling factors for global climate. One cannot learn about the weather without considering the ocean and its effects on controlling weather. The global climate is maintained by these large water masses, otherwise the Earth would be a hot and arid wasteland. Ocean has the ability to absorb, store and release heat into the atmosphere. The top 10 feet of the ocean surface contains more heat than our entire atmosphere. Major climatic events like El Nino result from ocean temperature changes. These changes have impacts on the weather events such as hurricanes, typhoons, floods and droughts. More habitat is seen near the coastline. More than one half of the world's population lives within 100 kilometer distance from the coastline. Let us see the world oceans. The continents divide the world's oceans into 5 major parts as the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Arctic Ocean and the Antarctic Ocean. Each ocean includes smaller bodies of water called as seas, gulf and bays. Let us see the first one, the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean is the largest of the world's oceans. It covers about 181 million square kilometers. It is also the deepest ocean with an average depth of 3,940 meters. Pacific Ocean contains half the water in the world's oceans. Pacific Ocean stretches about 24,000 kilometers from Panama to the Malay Peninsula. The North and South America border the Pacific Ocean on the east, and Asia and Australia lie to the west. Let us see the next one, the Atlantic Ocean. Atlantic Ocean covers about 94 million square kilometers, which excludes the waters of the Arctic region. Europe and Africa lie to the east of the Atlantic, and North and South America lie to the west of Atlantic. It is the shallowest ocean in the world with an average depth of 3,580 meters. Let us see the next ocean, the Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean has an area of about 74 million square kilometers. Africa lies to the west, Australia and Indonesia lie to the east. Asia borders the Indian Ocean on the north. The average depth of Indian Ocean water is about 3,840 meters. It is the Indian Ocean which bridges the west and the east virtually. Let us see the next one, the Arctic Ocean. It is the smallest ocean in the world. It covers about 9.5 million square kilometers. It lies north of Asia, Europe and North America. North Pole is near the center of it. It is a frozen sea throughout the year. The Arctic Ocean is the shortest air route between North America and the Russia. Let us see the next one, the Antarctic Ocean. The Antarctic Ocean is the name given to the waters surrounding the Antarctic continent. It is a mixture of three major oceans. Antarctic Ocean contains 150 to 300 meter thick icebergs, and it maintains a constant temperature of -2 degrees centigrade always. The surface freezes in winter and breaks into packed ice in summer, particularly in Antarctic Ocean. In addition to these major oceans in the world, we have notable seas like the Red Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, the Arabian Sea, the Bay of Bengal, the Persian Gulf, the Baltic Sea, the Bering Sea, the Hudson Bay and the marginal seas. Understanding of the oceans require a detailed study. It requires a basic knowledge of the geological, chemical, physical and biological processes and how they interact each other in different parts of the oceanic environment is the subject. Oceanography is the subject which deals with the study of physical, chemical and biological conditions of the oceans. It is an interdisciplinary subject and an emerging area for marine engineering. It is the science of seas and oceans. Understanding the oceans requires a basic knowledge of geological, chemical, physical and biological processes and how they interact in different parts of the oceanic environment. The subject of studying the physical, chemical and biological conditions of oceans is called as oceanography. It is an interdisciplinary subject and an emerging area for marine engineering. It is the science of seas and oceans. Oceanography is a science concerned with the physico-chemical characteristics of oceanic water, its depth, temperature, salinity, movements like tides, waves and currents, fauna and flora found at various zones of the seas and oceans. As it deals with the distribution and processes of these water bodies, it comes under earth sciences in general. Oceanography is a part of the subjects like physical geography, marine biology, marine geology, fishery biology, marine engineering and marine geophysics. Oceanographers are the scientists who study these aspects in a detailed way. They use several types of instruments on research ships. Oceanographers operate underwater cameras to photograph the sea floor. They use echo sounders to measure the depth of water column. They also use some special devices to collect water samples in seas at different depths. Today, people use satellites and satellite data to analyze the ocean dynamics. Global positioning system and geographic information systems are used as tools by the oceanographers. Use of submersibles enabled oceanographers to observe the features of the sea floors. Exploring the oceans is a challenging and adventurous activity to all scientists, engineers and mariners. Let us see the divisions of oceanography. The following are the major divisions of the subject oceanography: physical oceanography, chemical oceanography, biological oceanography, geological oceanography, marine biology, applied oceanography, marine meteorology, paleoceanography. These are all the major divisions of the subject oceanography. Let us see the first one, physical oceanography. Physical oceanography is the study of physical properties and dynamics of the ocean. It describes the physical processes influencing the oceans and coastal regions, the interaction of the ocean with the atmosphere, the distribution of oceanic winds, currents, heat fluxes and water masses are also studied in this. Physical oceanography deals with the physics of the oceans, the oceanographic exploration, evolution of scientific concepts, physical setting of the seas and oceans, their dimensions, the sea floor, the bathymetry and other databases. Sound in oceans is a unique subject of study. Physical oceanography also deals with the atmospheric influences, wind systems, wind stress, the oceanic heat budget, fluxes, heat transport, temperature, salinity and density of oceanic waters, the light in the ocean and absorption of light by oceanic waters. Physical oceanography also deals with the dominant forces for ocean dynamics, the types of flow in the oceans and the conservation of mass and salt. The equations of motion with continuity, viscosity, turbulence, mixing, stability concepts are also studied under physical oceanography. The response of the upper ocean to winds, geostrophic currents, hydrostatic equilibrium, the wind driven ocean circulation like oceanic waves are all studied under this subject. The vorticity and deep circulation in the ocean, the equatorial processes, El Nino effects and mathematical models are also done in this subject. Tides and coastal processes are unique features of oceanic waters which are all studied under the subject physical oceanography. Let us see the next division, chemical oceanography. Chemical oceanography is the study of everything about the chemistry of the oceans. It deals with the distribution and dynamics of the chemical elements, isotopes, atoms and molecules present in the oceans. This ranges from fundamental physical, thermodynamic and kinetic chemistry to the two-way interactions of the ocean chemistry with biological, geological and physical processes. Chemical oceanography also deals with the interactions between oceans, lithosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. It also concentrates more on the chemistry of the seawater, the controls in chemical distribution, components of marine sediments, chemical controls in biological production, the temperature, salinity of seawater, density structure of seawater, ocean circulation, the major ions and dissolved gases present in water, nutrients, conservative elements and gas exchange expected in ocean waters are all studied under chemical oceanography. It also deals with mass balance, the residence time of various items present and the processes, the life in the oceans and their productivity are studied. Chemical oceanography deals with the ocean's biological carbon pump, which is very important for global warming. It is studied under chemical oceanography. The sediment traps, ocean carbonate systems, oxygen mass balance, chemical equilibrium and solution chemistry, free energy of reactions, acid bases, deep ocean fluxes, redox chemistry and hydrothermal circulation are studied here. The chemical tracers, radionuclides are also the other aspects which are coming under chemical oceanography. Let us see the next division, biological oceanography. Biological oceanography deals with the basic ecological concepts that are central to many studies of biological oceanography. It also deals with the study of marine life, habitat, interactions of all life are dealt with. It also deals with the study of marine life, habitat and their interactions. Biological oceanography deals with abiotic environments also. The phytoplankton and primary production, zooplankton, their migrations and changes, energy flow and mineral cycling, marine food chains and food webs, nectons, marine reptiles, marine mammals, seabirds, all of them are dealt with in the subject biological oceanography. This subject also helps us to study or evolve mariculture, fisheries, the benthic plants and animals, intertidal environments, beaches, coral reefs, estuaries, mangroves, all these are covered under biological oceanography. In addition to this, biological oceanography also deals with the deep sea ecology and marine pollution. Next division is the geological oceanography. The subject of geological oceanography deals with the basic concepts between the lithosphere and hydrosphere, the oceanic crust, continental margins, ocean bottom relief, ocean basins, oceanic ridges, rift valleys, island arcs, all of them are studied under the subject geological oceanography. In addition to this, the study of seawater and marine sedimentation are also carried out. The geology of corals, beach forms and processes and water masses are studied here. In geological oceanography, the factors affecting ocean circulation, waves and currents, tides and energy, coastal erosion and drifting of sediments, sea level changes, depositional environments, marine deposits, oil traps and energy sources are also studied. The geological oceanography is the main subject which studies the tectonic movements which are happening inside the sea and oceans. Tectonic movements, underwater eruptions, mud volcanoes, tsunamis, are all studied under geological oceanography. The next important division of oceanography is the marine biology. It deals with the study of life in marine waters. It also covers the ecosystem components, energy flow, productivity, trophic levels, fishery biology, aquaculture, mariculture, the growth and biological processes in marine waters, the forms of marine life, communities, their migration and pollution to marine waters, and the impacts of human influences are all studied under marine biology. In addition to these divisions, we have the applied oceanography, marine meteorology and paleooceanography, which are all the subjects which are emerging now to cover the oceanography subjects. The next important subject, which is very essential for today's context, is marine engineering. The navigational systems which we have, the cargo movements, the transport arrangements which we have through marine waters are all coming under marine engineering. A lot of equipments, transport systems, mechanical, automechanical, automobile systems are also used in marine engineering, in addition to detecting devices like echo sounders, GPS and other radio wave, microwave detectors. In addition to this, oceanography also deals with the subject of marine exploration. Dredging corporation, marine exploration corporations are dealing with a lot of marine resources which are existing below the waters. The applied aspects of oceanography are plenty, and quite a lot of applications have come in today in order to control cyclonic effects and also the effects of tsunamis on the coastal waters. And coastal disaster management is one of the emerging subjects of oceanography today. Let us concentrate on oceanography as a special subject of study and see the world's resources which are existing in the oceans. Thank you.